Hello everyone, Don here again with the next update on the W.A.R Corsair project. Today's Sunday, July 14th, and I have the airplane all prepped now for paint. So I've got the Insignia White for the belly mixed up, ready to throw in the gun. It's again the class coat. This is the actual final coat. So I'm going to hit the cowling first. Only have to do basically the bottom half. Get that in white. And then I'm going to go around the leading edges and touch up somewhere, overspray from the primer, basically around these edges, front and back. So I'll do that real quick. It's pretty warm today. It's almost 90 in this garage, but it's cooler outside. So I'll close the door, shoot this real quick, get a nice even coat on it. And then I'll mix up the blue, and it takes a half hour for the paint to induce. So I'll get that mixed, let it set, give the white a little chance to flash over, and then I'll go ahead and start spraying the light blue. Everything just overlaps, there's no tape lines. So again, that light blue starts right here, pretty much comes straight across and drops down to the edge. But I'll just overspray it high and to the sides. And then, but this side I got to be kind of close where it wants to go, because it's going to just swoop down there. And then it comes back here and kind of does the same thing, swoops a little bit. So there's not much on there, but the whole vertical tail gets the light blue. That'll be the second coat, and once that's setting, then I'll go ahead and mix up the dark blue and hopefully be able to shoot the top. So I'm going to be stopping and starting this video as we go along. You can kind of see some funny streaks on there. That's just some rattle can primer I sprayed on some of the spot putty fills just to help hide the red color of that stuff. So, alright, I'll be back in a little bit. Alright everyone, I'm back. I got the Insignia White sprayed. It's hard to really tell because it's really close to the same color as the primer. It does have a little bit of a yellow hue to it, so you can just barely see it when you're spraying it on. But I got back here, this whole tail section done. Underneath, did the hit over the tail door again. I started at the front edge of the elevator stabilizer there and came around with a trailing edge just above the center line where the light blue is going to go. And then again, just around the front, around the belly, I hit the belly again, all the way across in the front section. Underneath the leading edges of both wings, around the radiator inlet scoops. And then I did the bottom of the cowling. There you can see that it's actually a more uniform looking white. So I just got through mixing up the intermediate blue. And this is going to have to go on a little different. That's the intermediate blue, which is the same as that blue. Alright, so when I go to spray this, I'm going to have to spray this where I want it first, get it to kind of wrap around this leading edge a little bit. And then the tail section, the whole vertical fin, again on this side. And then I'm going to have to set the cowling on so I can spray the pattern on the cowling so it matches the pattern on the firewall. But if I put the cowling on now, I'm not going to be able to get inside this edge. So I'm going to have to spray around it first, stick the cowling on, and then spray it. And then I'll leave it on, let that set up while I mix up the dark blue to do the whole top of the fuselage. I'm just using a small touch-up gun for this light work, and then when I do the major part of the airframe, I'll switch over to the full-size HVLP gun. So next time you see this, that fin will be blue. You'll see a big band of light blue along the edges, sides, and the cowling will be setting on there with the light blue sprayed. And then we'll give that a half hour, 40 minutes for the next blue to induce, because you got to give it a 30-40 minutes to let that stuff react before you thin it out and spray it. So. Alright, so that's going to do her until I get back. See you in a minute. Alright, back now with the intermediate blue painted on. You see just a little bit there on the tail. The whole vertical fin. I've got that shot on, higher than it has to be. The dark blue will cover the top of this, and it will come down about here. So I just made sure I had enough on there. And in the front, got probably just a little too low up towards the nose, but not going to matter. Again, this is higher than it actually has to be. And the same on this side. So that's where I'm at. I'll go ahead and let this set up for a half hour. I've got the Non Specular Sea Blue set up. It's going to take a half hour to get this on there. And that's a really dark color. This will be the first time I've sprayed this color. So we'll give that a half an hour. It's 2 o'clock now, so 2:30. I'll thin it down, use the large gun, and start shooting. See what comes out of it. Alright, I'll be back when that's done. What I'll do is I'll have to spray this on, get my line across the fuselage, across the cowling, and then I'll have to remove the cowl so I can again be able to paint around the curve there on the firewall, and then I can finish painting the cowling out here on the stand. So, alright, I'll be back when I'm done with that. Alright everybody, here's the final product. That Non Specular Sea Blue, that is a really dark color. Kind of forget how dark that was, you know, from my modeling days when you're using the authentic colors. So I ended up putting 2 coats of this blue on. Kind of sitting in the shade now, so it's about, is it 3 o'clock in the afternoon? I did pull the cowling off, paint around the firewall, and then I stuck it back on to push it outside to give it some air. Well, about all I can say is it looks like an old wrinkled up warbird. It's not a perfect job. Being in all white primer, you know, it looks better than it actually was, but it still looks pretty good. And again, this is just a satin finish semi-gloss. So that's going to be it for this week's. You can see the nice definition there of the light blue to dark blue, vertical stabilizer. Shame is a lot of that's going to be covered up by the Insignia. Too bad it's shaded so much. You can probably see it better. But the shadows are kind of throwing off the color some. But it is dark, so. And I'm going after authentic colors here, so it's not perfect, not meant to be perfect, meant to be practical. So now my next step is I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a day or two to set up, and then I'll take a razor around the windshield frame there and peel the tape and paper off of that, exposing the windshield, because that is now finished. And then I guess the next step is to get the wing panels out. I'll probably just put them on sawhorses and finish them out. So, but that's pretty much the gist of everything there. Did what I wanted to do. You can see how everything is just kind of feathered in. I didn't, you know, tape anything off. That's not how they were done. These things were literally painted in the field, and that's about what it looks like. Painted in the field. So that was the intended look that I wanted. So it's not a nice shiny bird like the later models. The sea blue gloss, which I don't care for. I like this original colors. So alright, that's going to be my update for this week. Ugh, I better tighten that axle nut on before my wheel falls off. Look at there. Moving this thing in and out all the time, it's back that nut off. Tighten it up before I push it back in so the wheel don't fall off. Check the other side, make sure it's not the same way. No, it was alright. So that's going to do it for this week, folks. Again, like I always, appreciate everyone taking time to watch my videos. As always, feel free to leave any comments, questions, or concerns, and I'll reply to them as they come through. And next week, hopefully you'll see the wings all prepped and hopefully ready for some sanding, priming on those. And once the wings are done, then I'll attack all the control surfaces. So, alright folks, that's going to do it for this week. Hope everybody enjoys the videos. This is Dan O'Don out.